Hi guys, I hope you're all well. Sorry I've taken so long to do a blog. I've just been so busy lately with other plans and that. But anyway, today's blog is going to be me talking about learning how to unmask my autism and how I've gone from hiding my traits to actually embracing them. So I hope you guys enjoy this and make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. Sorry about the fan being on. My room just absolutely roasting today. It's looking like we're going to get a lot of rain and thunder soon because it's very, very dark out here and very windy and huskly. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about my autism traits. My first one I'm going to talk about is social exhaustion. Used to be like when I went out with like my friends or my boyfriend or my family or whatever, I would basically socialize so much to the point that I was socially drained. I wouldn't tell anyone. I just keep going and going to the point that my social battery was dead down, and I just wouldn't talk for ages and have nothing to say, and I'd have no ways of knowing how to like unmask it. I just pushed myself through it so much to the point that I just couldn't talk at all anymore and had to like cancel plans and everything. And now how I go through that is I use emergency notes. Basically, I write down things like I need a drink, I need some food, I need some chill time, like away from everything. And doing these means that my social energy can stay high for much longer. And this is so beneficial when I go nonverbal. Rather than me pushing through it and trying to talk when I can't talk, I can just kind of stay quiet. And like this benefits me so much in the long run having these emergency notes. And I also sometimes talk through the phone to like Damien, like if I don't have, well, if have emergency notes on me, but if I want to talk about something and I can't get out and it's not my emergency notes, I can just like write it on notes to my phone, which is really handy. And I wish I came up with a solution way sooner, but now it's better than never. So I don't battle through it anymore. I just, when I get socially exhausted, I make sure to use my notes and to like talk in that kind of way. And I'm trying to learn to do it with other people as well. Not just my boyfriend, but I'm just taking like little steps at a time to like unmasking. Next, I'm going to talk about stimming. So I used to be ashamed to stim in Puglet. I used to always be very like, just like straight and intense and not stim at all because I just didn't want anyone to see me stimming whatsoever. So I'd only stim privately in my room when I was like listening to music or doing something like that. But nowadays I just stim wherever. Whenever I'm excited, I stim a lot. Whenever I'm anxious, I'll move my hands a lot. Like it's so much better openly stimming because it means that I'm being me, I'm being myself. Like, and as a way of expressing myself, it's a way of communicating when I can't talk. Just when stims are good things, it shows how you're feeling and like it can help in so many ways. Like when I'm excited, I go mental, like a stim like that, and then when I'm like anxious, I'm like that as well. So I can't do it when I'm nervous and excited, but it's a good way to express myself, and I just love to stim. Like stim is a part of me. I like to vocal stim. Like I like to sing songs in my head. Sometimes I'm singing and I don't even realize it, or I repeat a line from a TV show at the middle, for example. I don't realize I'm doing it. So I stim in many ways, and it's just so beneficial for my mental health. Now I'm going to talk about loud noises. So loud noises, I used to pretend that they just didn't harm me, it didn't bother me in any way. I was a child, I used to cover my ears like ambulances and bagpipes and fireworks and things like that. But then I thought, oh, I can't look like that because I'd look uncool in front of all the popular girls and everything, so I stopped doing it. But now I embrace it and I say, oh, this noise is too loud, can we move somewhere else? Or I don't want to be near this noise. I just make sure to like express that. And even I remember the other week, like jumping out of my seat when an ambulance came. I was like, "Oh my god, there's an ambulance!" And I haven't done that in ages. Like, it felt weird, but it felt great at the same time because I was being honest about how I felt about it. And my sister was like, "Oh, you okay?" and all that. And then I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But then I remember like it happened again. There was like a big noise came on in Sanders. It was like alarm went off. This alarm was so loud that none of us enjoyed this. We all moved away from this, but I was like, oh my god, I hate that noise. We have to move away. So I'm expressing myself a bit more. And when the bagpipes run in, I was like, oh no, not bagpipes. I hate that. I can't stand that. So I'm being more honest about what noises I don't like. And yeah, it's better to be honest rather than just hide it and make things worse. So my special interests, I used to feel really awkward about sharing my special interests. I had many interests in things which I knew no one would be interested in, and I always felt anxious about sharing them. So I basically share nothing about myself at all. I just keep everything to myself. But now I share all my special interests. I'm not afraid to share what kind of music I'm into, what movies I'm into, what TV shows I'm into, or what games I'm into. Like I always talk about Animal Crossing, I always talk about autism because psychology things really, I love talking about psychology things. I also love to like read up things on anxiety, depression, ADHD, many things like that. It's just so interesting to like learn new things about people's brains. Like I just love that, you know, and I love talking about Animal Crossing. I just love Animal Crossing overall. I think it's a great game. I just love how I'm being me now though, and I'm talking about my interests rather than locking them inside of me. I'm just being me. Like I used to be afraid of the fact I like One Direction because none of my friends like them. I was like, I can't like One Direction. No one of my friends like them, so that'd be uncool. But now I just admit, and I'm like, I like One Direction. I'm proud to be a One Director. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't really bother me now. I mean, I'm not obsessed with them, but I like them when no one else did, you know. So, yeah, I like how I'm just very open about my interests now, and I don't keep it to myself. And my favorite films are Inside Out, Greatest Showman. My favorite TV shows in the middle. My favorite single. My favorite singer overall is Ed Sheeran. I like all his albums and think they're all amazing. And yeah, walking on tiptoes. I find this is an autism trait that doesn't get talked about enough, so I thought I'd add this one into the video. But when I was a child, well, now actually as well, I'd always walk on my tiptoes. And I remember at Christmas time just past, I was walking on my tiptoes so much I actually hurt my toes and had to like have bandages around them. So yeah, that was pretty nippy. But so that occasionally happens to me. But it used to be people would always ask me, Lauren, why are you walking like that? Why are you walking this kind of way? And I used to get stressed out about it. It used to really make me anxious, and I was like, oh my god, it's so embarrassing. I walk that way. I hate it, and like everyone comments on it. They're trying to take the mickey out of me. They weren't really. They were just curious. They just wondered why I was walking that way. So there's nothing wrong with that. But now I embrace that. I say, well, I walk my tiptoes, but I can't help it. It's just a part of me. It's a part of my autism that I can't help. And like, there's nothing wrong with the way I walk. I can walk from A to B. So that is the main thing, you know. So it doesn't bother me anymore. I just try to not let it get to me. As long as I'm not hurting my toes too much. And usually I'm okay, but occasionally I can hurt them. But yeah, they're okay now. So I was just looking down my toes when I was saying that. Like, see, they're okay. Like, they're obviously okay. Last time I hurt them was December. That was like what, 8 months ago. Oh god, it's 4 months till Christmas. That's crazy to think. Let's get prepared for Christmas, guys. My boyfriend kills me when I talk about Christmas. He's like, it's too early for Christmas, not till the 1st of December at the latest. That is too late for Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Anyway, we're going off topic. Tying my shoelaces. So I used to get really embarrassed about the fact that I couldn't tie my shoelaces. This really got to me, especially in primary seven, when there were kids were looking at me and asking me, how can you not tie your shoelaces yet, Lauren? But the teacher did reassure me and say she knew plenty of primary sevens who couldn't do it yet. So it made me feel a bit better about myself. But then many years down the line, I still couldn't tie my shoelaces. And I remember one day when I was 14, I tried tying them so much to the point I got so frustrated and upset. Mum was like, it's not the end of the world. You'll learn how to do them at some point. But to me, it did feel like the end of the world because everyone else can do it. And I was one of the only ones who couldn't. So it really stressed me out. And then when I was 17, I found a new way to tie my shoelaces that actually worked for me. And now I can tie them. I still feel like I'm really slow at tying my shoelaces compared to other people my age, but at least I can actually do it now. But now I look back and think it actually wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I would learn that at some point. We all learn skills at different paces. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a bit behind from your peers on certain skills. Because the thing is, I learned how to swim when I was 9. There was loads of people that didn't know how to swim when they were 9. Like, so I was ahead in other ways. Like, and I was one of the first people in my class in primary 4 who could tell the time. So I was really fast in that way. So some skills I picked up quicker than other kids. So I have to realize that everyone's different. We all learn things at different times. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a bit behind sometimes. And like, I learned how to do it, and that's the main thing. And because of my autism, I struggle to find those skills, like holding a pencil or like yeah, like tying my shoelaces and things like that, holding cutlery. But I've learned how to do these things now, and that's the main thing. I take my time learning it, and now I know how to do it, and that's what matters, doesn't it? Communication. So I used to get stressed out and frustrated when I couldn't communicate in certain situations. Like sometimes I had something I wanted to say, but I just couldn't get it out, and it would really annoy me. And like I used to get really upset over that, and I was like, I wish I could communicate like my peers. I wish I could make friends like my peers, and I could like be more like them, you know. But now I realize there's other ways I can communicate. Like I communicate through my emergency notes that I've made up recently, or I communicate through my phone. There's so many ways you can communicate. It's not just talking. You can even communicate through like sign language or like through devices or any kind of way. There's so many ways to communicate. Talking is not the only form of communicating. which is what I've realised. So now I communicate through emergency notes or through my phone when I'm stressed. I'm so glad my boyfriend gave me this idea, and it's definitely been a lifesaver when I've been in a situation I don't know what to say. And like we've used it a couple of times already, so it definitely is coming in handy because I'm already using it quite a bit. So yeah, I don't let it get to me. And plus, you can communicate in many ways. I can communicate through stimming. I can communicate through like singing. I like to sing. I can communicate through many different ways. Talking's not the only way to communicate. It's just that people who say, "Oh, you can only communicate through talking," or just talking rubbish, because there's thousands of ways you can communicate. Like, don't let people tell you there's no other way to communicate, because now I've embraced it and know that I can communicate in different ways. Now we're going to end off with sarcasm. So I used to laugh at every joke and everything that my peers said. Obviously, I wouldn't laugh at something if it was like something really mean towards someone else or some horrible comment. But I would laugh at just like a joke from a TV show, for example, or a joke, just a general joke, you know what I mean? But I would just laugh at any joke and pretend that I understood it when half the time I didn't. But now, whenever I'm like watching something or doing something and someone says something and I don't think it's funny, I just don't laugh. And they look at me and like, why are you not laughing? I'm like, just because I don't find it funny, because we all have different sense of humours. We all find different things funny in life. So, and that's how I see it. So sometimes I ask for clarification, like, is why is that funny? What's the joke? What's the meaning behind it? Because sometimes you need that clarification. Like, it's better to just be honest about how you feel about the joke rather than just randomly laughing at it. It's better just to be honest and be like, nah, it's not for me. It's not, I don't find that funny. It's not my sense of humor. Like, for example, there was a how do you say that word? A benquilogist. Is that how you say it? I think so. A benquilogist. Yeah. There's a benquilogist on the TV the other night, and we were watching it, and I didn't find it funny at all, and didn't laugh at any of it at all. I just went like this the whole time. Well, a few years ago, I probably even like this when I was watching it. And you can tell it's a fake laugh, can't you? Well, something I do laugh at a lot is the middle, because I find the middle very funny. I just love that Axel's attitude and how he's always a difficult teenager who doesn't want to do anything, and the things he comes out with. He's not particularly the smartest tool in the world, so I think his personality is really funny. And Sue, her crazy hypeness, how she gets excited over every little thing. She'd even get excited over an orange. She's that type of person. And then Brick with being like very quirky, his personality is really fun and cool. I just think and Mike singing in the car when Morning a Feeling came on. Good morning a feeling, morning. And then and then like when Frankie and Sue and Axel and that all came past, they heard him sing, and he saw them, and he pretended he denied he didn't sing, even though they saw him. Like, you can't deny it, they saw you. And then he stabbed a fork in the table. So yeah, I find the middle really funny. It's something I laugh at. So we all like different things. We all find different things funny, which is what I'm trying to point out here. So yeah, I don't be afraid not to laugh anymore. I just laugh at what I find funny. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog on me talking about how I've learned to unmask all my traits and everything, where I was a few years ago and where I am now. I feel like I've taken many steps forward and I'm getting somewhere. I'm not quite in the road of like totally unmasking yet, but I am getting there, and I feel like hopefully by the end of this year I will be totally unmasked and I'll just be myself all the time, which would be absolutely great. I will be doing more videos on unmasking, as that's something I'm trying to go through at the moment and trying to get to the point where I'm never doing it anymore. So I'm in the progress of learning to unmask, and I think it's important to like inspire other autistic people to do the same, because you're all amazing the way you are. You shouldn't have to hide your traits just so society will like you. Society is just rubbish. You don't have to listen to society. I don't like society sometimes, but yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this blog, and there'll be more blogs on unmasking. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye for now.